So this is not correct. No, it's not correct because
5 o'clock.
this is so irritating to deal with.
Good evening, and welcome to the Board of Selectmen, Monday, April 28th, 2025, Warcoit Meeting Room, Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Mass. We're broadcast live on local cable channel 8 and 1072. Stream live on the Town of Mashpee website, www.mashpeema.gov/channel 8. It is 5 o'clock, and we're convening the meeting in open session. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I thank you, and I'd like a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Review and approval of meeting minutes, Monday, April 7th, 2025, regular session.
So moved.
Second.
John?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
And Tom?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. Appointments and hearing. 5:05. DPW Director?
No, she wouldn't be able to be, Michael, from Eversource.
Yeah, why don't you read
I
in
mean,
here?
Nanstar.
Okay. Michaela's going to read the,
The Town of Mashpee Select Board will conduct a poll hearing on petition W0 number 195-40679, dated March 11th, 2025, from Verizon New England, Inc., and NStar Electric Company, DBA Eversource Energy, to install one jointly owned pole numbered 2277 on the south side of Quiniquisette Avenue, northeast of the property at 7 Egret Court, and at a point approximately 35 feet east from pole 28 and 150 feet west of pole 275 in Mashpee, Mass. This work is being requested by Eversource for the new pumping stations for the town of Mashpee. Said hearing will take place on Monday, April 28, 2025, at 5:05 p.m. in the Warcoit Meeting Room at Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Mass. You may submit questions and/or comments via email to selectboard@mashpeema.gov prior to the hearing, or by contacting this office directly at 508-539-1401.
thank you, Michaela. It's kind of straightforward. I don't think we really need too much. Oh, are you here?
Yes.
For the poll? Oh, great. Come and sit down.
I did make a little rendering.
Okay.
This will help.
Oh, good. That's fine. Thank you.
We'll share.
Difficult to share,
We'll
sorry.
share. That's okay.
You mean we don't have to figure out where 27.5 is?
I didn't make the sketches, that's why I said, you
That's
know what?
good.
I'm stepping in for
I
somebody
love
else.
the description. I'm like, okay, where's 27.5 pole?
Well, you'll see right across from Brewster Road.
Yes, it is. Good, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, straightforward.
It's simple. Any questions?
I know the project.
Any questions?
I have no.
No problem.
Any questions from the audience? No? Easy peasy.
Motion to close the
Motion to
public hearing?
close, yes.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. You're done. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Up to dinner. Have a good night, thank you.
You too.
You need a motion to approve?
And now we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
John?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Thank you. Okay, review of application for change of manager for the following licensed establishments. New Seaberry Beach Club, LLC, doing business as New Seaberry Country Club, 95 Shore Road, Shore Drive West, New Seabury Club, Beach Club LLC, doing business as New Seabury Athletic Club and Pool, 60-80 Cross Street, New Seabury Beach Club LLC, doing business as The Lure, 236 Shore Drive, New Seabury Beach Club LLC, doing business as Papaneset Inn, 252 Shore Drive.
Good evening.
Good evening, and you are?
My name is Sean Mosman. I'm the Director of Food and Beverage at the club.
Hi, Sean. How are you? Okay, so we can start. Anything you want to tell us? Anything changes? We have all the applications in here. Anybody have any questions for him?
I don't see any
Okay,
See any either.
another
no
easy peasy.
hesitations at all.
Okay,
Right.
David?
Question to you, are we going to?
On the license?
Approve these?
License.
Yes, individually.
We will, yes. Any questions on the,
I don't.
okay?
It's very straightforward.
Okay, we'll do them into, you want to start, David, and do the first one?
Motion to approve New Seabury Beach Club LLC, DBA New Seabury Country Club.
Do I have a second?
Presented.
I'll
Yeah.
second that motion.
John?
Yes,
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Motion to approve New Seabury Beach Club LLC, DBA New Seabury Athletic Club and Pool. Liquor license as presented.
second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes,
And I'm a yes.
Motion to approve New Seabury Beach Club LLC, DBA Papaneset Inn, liquor license approval as presented.
second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes,
And I'm a yes.
Motion to approve New Seabury Beach Club LLC, DBA The Lure, liquor license as presented.
second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. You're all set on the liquor license.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And it is almost 5:10, so we can probably start the public hearing.
Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 15A, the Select Board, acting as the local licensing authority for the town of Mashpee, will conduct a public hearing on the applications for transfer of alcoholic beverage license for the following establishments: Concert New Seabury LLC, DBA The Club at New Seabury, 95 Shore Drive West. Annual all alcoholic club license, Concert New Seabury LLC, DBA New Seabury Athletic Club and Pool House, 60-80 Cross Street. Seasonal all alcoholic restaurant license, Concert New Seabury LLC, DBA The Lure at Papaneset, 236 Shore Drive. Seasonal all alcoholic club license, Concert of New Seabury LLC, DBA Papaneset Inn, 252 Shore Drive, seasonal all-alcoholic hotel innkeeper license. Said hearing will be held on Monday, April 28th, 2025, at 5:10 p.m. in the Wacoit Meeting Room at Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, MA, 02649. You may submit questions and/or comments via email to selectboard@mashpeema.gov prior to the hearing or by contacting this office directly at 508-539-1401, per order of the Select Board.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Joe Devlin. I'm a partner with the firm of Upton, Cannell, and Devlin with offices at 112 Water Street in Boston, Massachusetts. With me, the old manager, same as the new manager, is Sean Mosman, who's also the proposed manager of record for my client, which is Concert New Seabury LLC. If it pleases the chair, I can summarize the transaction before you.
Please.
Thank you. I represent Concert Golf. It's a national high-end golf course owner and operator. They're entered into a purchase and sale agreement to purchase this property. The types of property they own and operate are very similar to this one. The other one in Massachusetts is the Blue Hills Country Club. So that's their milieu, so to speak, or their niche. They own about 25, approximately, maybe give or take one or two across the country. As I think you can see sitting next to me, and Jim Clay, the general manager of the club, is also here. When these things happen, other than the people here and maybe people listening at home, you wouldn't really know that something had happened this summer, like after the closing. There's not a lot of changes to the operating personnel. Hopefully over the coming months and years, you do start seeing what my client would hope to be improvements. Part of their ownership is also involved in the ownership of Top Flight, so they bring a lot of different connections than other companies, and that's what they're hoping to leverage here. But again, the personnel, you're going to see, I don't think too many people are going to see many changes. We're doing this in anticipation of the closing. Closing hasn't happened yet, and hope to get this up to the ABCC and approved. It's these 4 licenses, which you just recounted for the change of manager, plus any of the other ancillary licenses like entertainment and common victualers.
Sure.
That's all I have, but I'm here to answer any questions that anybody might have.
Okay. Board, do we have any questions?
I do not.
No?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
The audience? The audience have any questions? I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
John?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Now I'd like a motion to approve the transfer. We'll do it each one. David, if you would.
I'll do them as they're packaged in front of us. Motion to approve transfer of liquor license, the Lure, as presented.
Okay, here, let me give it to you this way.
Oh, all right.
Transfer.
Transfer of liquor license from New Seabury Beach Club LLC DBA The Lure at Papaneset to Concert of New Seabury LLC DBA The Lure at Papaneset as presented.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Motion to transfer, the transfer of liquor license from New Seabury Beach Club LLC DBA Papaneset Inn to Concert of New Seabury LLC DBA Papaneset Inn as presented.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela? David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Transfer of liquor license from New Seabury Beach Club LLC DBA New Seabury Golf Club to Concert of New Seabury LLC DBA The Club at New Seabury as presented.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Lastly, a motion to transfer of liquor license from New Seabury Beach Club LLC DBA Athletic Club in Pool to Concert of New Seabury LLC DBA New Seabury Athletic Club in Pool as presented.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
And
you
good
very
luck.
Have a good night.
Gosh.
Okay, guys.
Okay, next up is a presentation by Massachusetts State Senator Dylan Fernandez. Hi,
With you guys.
how are you?
Honored. Well, thank you for having me, Madam Chair, members of the committee. It's an honor to be before you. We're just, as someone who's newly elected to serve Mashpee, we've been going around to the various towns and really introducing ourselves and having public meetings, because I think it's really important to be open, transparent, and engaging with you guys so that we can better serve you at the State House. And to that effect, we kicked off the session with listening tours in every town, had one here at the library. We've met with every town manager and town administration in the district, including our good guy Rodney and team over here. And now we're trying to get before all the select boards as well. So it's an honor to represent this town. It's a really well-run town. You guys do a fabulous job here. And I just want to give a quick update, and of course, happy to entertain any questions. But one of the first things that came up in my tenure was the potential closure of Pecasset Mental Health Facility, the only state-run inpatient mental health facility in our entire region on the Cape and Islands. We have really acute, important mental health needs here, higher than average, 50% higher than average suicide rates actually in Barnstable County than the rest of the state. So really profound needs, and the only other place for likewise or similar services is at Cape Cod Healthcare, and there's only 20 beds there. So vital that we keep these beds. So we pushed back really strongly against this. Had a lot of good conversations with the governor's office around the real need here. And then within a few couple weeks, we're able to reverse that decision. And now we're going to be taking up a working group that's going to be assessing region-wide mental health services for the Cape to really look at where we can not only, save some of these beds, but also where do they fit into the rest of the ecosystem here, and what are ways we can actually expand mental health services in this region. I think that's something we really need to be pushing for. The other kind of initiative we've taken up is around having public forums around the Cape bridges and bringing down the head of the project from the state to the Cape, along with other leadership around the project, for the public to be able to go to these meetings, get an update, and then ask direct questions from leadership as to exactly what's happening, and also have a voice in the process, because this is the largest infrastructure project since the canal was built in our region, and it's going to decide our transportation fate for at least the next century here. So it's really important that these are built, period, and then also to me, and I think to all of us, built with our communities here on the Cape in mind. And so we had our first one very well, like 200 people in Bourne. We'd like to have one at some point in Mashpee as well, but we're hosting these quarterly for as long as kind of I'm here to take this on. So, and if the public wants to attend those meetings, we'd strongly encourage them to do so. We had like an hour of questions directly to the person running the project from the public, which I think is important to have.
You will publicize the meetings.
Oh, they are very publicized. Yeah. They're very they're very publicized, and that's why I think we had around 200 people at Mass Maritime, which was great, because as you guys know from hosting your own public forums, it can be hard to get the public to come, but it was good turnout, and I think that's reflective of the interest in the project and how people want to have their voices heard around it. We've just started the legislative cycle, right? So, we filed 48 bills, and I've been appointed to chair the Agriculture and Fisheries Committee this session in the Senate, which is really, I think, important for our region, where these two historic industries still thrive, and we want to kind of sustain them here, because there's been a lot of challenges in our region around that, particularly actually around farming, but also, fishing issues as well. And there's a lot coming up at the State House. We have, the next thing on our agenda is the budget. The House is doing the budget right now in session. We'll take it up in a couple of weeks. And so, that's kind of the big document that's going to get us through the next fiscal year. We're taking a more conservative approach this go around. There's a lot of headwinds nationally, a lot of uncertainty there, and so I think a conservative approach makes sense. But know that Massachusetts, we have the highest rainy day fund in our state history, and are in a better place relative to other states when it comes to kind of our fiscal responsibility and our bond rating and the like. So that's the approach we're going to be taking in this budget. There is some good news, though. We have a lot more spending and money available for education and transportation through the Fair Share Amendment. And so education, you're likely to see an increase in education funding, which I know is a really important thing for town budgets and the like. And we really want to, we changed the formula around 5-6 years ago. It hadn't been changed in almost 20 years. we want to take a look at readjusting it again, because while, rising tide with the change in formula has raised all boats, there are communities that have gotten a lot more money than communities that look like ours. And so we want to level the playing field a little bit more, so that kind of more of these middle income communities that are dealing with a lot of increased prices and a lot of fixed costs that have gone up can also get their fair share when it comes to kind of education funding and a readjustment of the formula there. And we're also going to look at transportation costs as well, because I know that's a big strain on municipal budgets. So there's good news that there's going to be some funding available there, and that's kind of what we're going to be pushing for. We also have an environmental bond bill that's coming up. Governor hasn't filed it yet, but it has to be reauthorized this legislative session. So there'll be a lot of, and I'm vice chairing the committee on the environment, so that'll kind of come through us. So if there's any big kind of enviro water quality projects you guys are looking at, let us know, of course, and we're happy to file amendments around that. But we're really going to be pushing for more water quality funding from the state. I know, Madam Clerk, we've both weighed in on the changes to the SRF fund that we see as being troubling. So we want to kind of put a pause on that, and then also use the environmental bond bill to try and capture more water funds for our region. We're going to look at putting more money in the Cape and Islands Water Protection Fund, which I know this town has been very successful in applying for, and it's been kind of a boon for the region. And so, keep us in mind for projects that are coming up. And of course, it builds off of our tripling of the septic tax credit when we did the largest tax break bill in 25 years last session, where now you can get $18,000 back on your taxes for a new septic system rather than the $6,000. So that's, I know, a big deal for a town like this. But
now that's over how many years?
I was over, is it 5 or 7?
I think it's
forget.
6 or 7.
Okay, 6 or 7, yeah. So you can really draw it out. We actually want to, in our filing legislation around, and you guys would probably be interested in this, around allowing people that don't have tax liability to be able to get it as well, right? That's really important and when working with the town of Falmouth on this, they brought this to our attention, but it applies just as much to Mashpee, because there's so many people here that live on fixed income, so many people that don't have a tax liability, who are not going to reap the benefits of this program in the way that other people would. And so that's
And how did they find out that information?
What's that?
How did they find out that information?
What information?
That to be able to have the tax credit if they don't have the taxable income?
Well, I mean, they can contact the Department of Revenue.
Okay.
That's
Do it
probably
through
the best way to figure that out.
Okay.
They can reach out to our office. We're happy to connect them with the Department of Revenue if they're having a hard time with that. But yeah, DORs, they're the place to go for these programs. And then, of course, you can get a zero interest loan on top of that, which that really helps with the payment on some of these larger projects. So that's, those are just some of our kind of bigger updates. Keep us in mind for anything that comes up, and anything that's going to impact the town. We'll always reach out to you, and we just really, I have a lot of respect for the town of Mashpee and this board and what you guys have been able to accomplish. And, we just want to have a strong relationship with you guys, so that we can be your voice at the state level and make sure the state is taking Mashpee into consideration.
Sure. We'll start with Rodney. You want to have a question?
I didn't, but I will make a comment, and that is, when we sat down with the senator and his folks, we had a nice, pleasant conversation, and I brought one concern of mine that was a priority, and that was what he referenced just a few moments ago, and it's been resolved. So whatever you contributed, thank you.
You're welcome. We're here to help. We're here to serve.
John? David? David?
Sure, I'll take the opportunity. There's a lot of different issues we're facing. Wondering what's going on with Mass Development's plans for Joint Base Cape Cod and Cape Cod Commission's supporting of a regional housing initiative, where that's at, kind of in development and funding and things, to see how that's going to affect Mashpee's affordable housing and what benefits are going to be there for our residents as well. Are they going to practice local preference? What's that preference look like? Who's included and who's excluded from that preference are kind of some focal points. The other thing is, the state's hyper-focused with the nitrogen loads on our coastal waters. I think all the great work that the APCC has done has reflected that, the Cape's faced with other water quality issues and the nutrient loads that are impeding our freshwater bodies, not only just our ponds, but also our rivers. Mashpee is, last year, two of our primary rivers, Mashpee and Quashnet, were designated as the most contaminated rivers on Cape Cod's. How can we help that? I think Base Cape Cod plays a role in some of that, where they're leaching PFAS into our Quashnet River and Childs River, and is making its way out to a Walkwhite Bay. Those are two heavy-duty concerns for myself and our environment. If our environment's not healthy, we're not healthy. And so looking for state to kind of leverage its authority in addressing some of those things. And I would also advocate that when we look at regulations, they shouldn't be statewide. At some point, we have to recognize that the Cape is a unique environment, and the Cape Cod Sands particularly, with Title V and things. I know we've made some strides in changing the requirements and allowing for innovative alternative systems to address water quality infrastructure, the lack of. But I don't know if that's enough. We should look at a regional, I think, approaches where the hydrology and things are different. The Berkshires are much different than hydrology of Cape Cod with Cape Cod Sands. And so, one thing that I guess that's a good segue into, I'd advocate for tolls to be imposed at the bridges. There's over 35 million vehicles come across those two bridges combined annually. Even if you did $2 an axle, only calculating cars, you'd bring in about $70 million a year. That money should be earmarked specifically for to leverage SRF funds and go towards coastal and water quality issues, I think, particularly. It could be a long-term funding mechanism, recognizing that, the tourism, Massachusetts reaps the benefits of Cape Cod tourism, and it's a significant amount of money that comes into the state through the tourism that we receive here on the Cape. And they come over here and leave their stuff behind, and then we're left to deal with it. So, charging a modest rate, I would suggest that we look at some approach to where residents aren't being charged to cross the bridges. With the technology nowadays, I'm sure that's capable of doing that through an easy pass exclusion for residents. But I think we could generate a lot of money towards helping the local Cape Cod communities address the lack of infrastructure. We're all facing it. We're all recognizing the environment needs help, and looking for the state to support us in our efforts to do so and help with some funding for that.
Great. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, Mass Development hasn't had any big updates since the kind of initial meeting, but we're in communication with them. So my understanding is they're still very much in the early planning phase, but we'll keep you updated. And as you guys know, most of the land on the base is actually state land. So I think there's real opportunity there to help alleviate some of our biggest challenges here, and none bigger than kind of affordability issues. When it comes to housing, and you talk to employers here, that's the number one issue they're dealing with. And you talk to anyone in my generation, they can't afford to live here at all. So so that's an ongoing conversation. We're happy to keep you posted on that. You mentioned kind of local preference. One thing that we were able to pass last session, and this was a carve out we did for our region, was around the seasonal communities designation. So now there's a designation enshrined in state statute that says that communities that are designated as a seasonal community can have these special regulations that not other communities, can have. So there's communities that are grandfathered in based upon their kind of the percentage of their non-resident homeowners. Mashpee doesn't qualify automatically, but now the state's Housing Livable Communities is creating a mechanism for towns like Mashpee and actually all the towns on the Upper Cape to be able to apply. So if you're interested in that, once those regulations come out, we'll give those to you. And then two, if you are a seasonal community, the town of Mashpee could build housing that was given to that preferenced your residents, and not only your residents but your workers, your municipal workers, your employees. And so this is a carve out that we've really pushed for because we know how challenging it is for every town to be able to find firefighters, police officers, teachers, because of, you're actually making a decent paycheck, but for how high the home prices are, it actually prices them out. And so this is a way that we've carved out specific to our region that's gonna help with that. So that's something I think worth exploring. And then, for better or for worse, there are carve-outs right now around water quality issues, right? We're actually the only place in the state facing these TMDLs. So right now it's not being we're not being treated like any of the other areas, and that in a lot of ways is a recognition of how we're different and how profound our issues are. But it also is something that's gonna cost us money. And so that's why we're pushing really hard against some of these SRF reforms and the like, and pushing more for water quality funding from the state.
Good.
Thank you for all your work.
Yeah, my pleasure, Dave. Good to see you.
I want to thank you for your work as well, all the work you did with Pocasset. I was there at the meeting at Pocasset, and I know, again, you brought everybody together, and you initiated that effort, and that was very, very successful. Also, the work you've done in restoring the IUP conditions to ensure that at least for this year, we're moving forward with the conditions that were in place before. The $5 million bond bill work. I know the Cape and Islands Water Protection Fund is voting tomorrow about sending a letter to the government for that, and that just seems critical. Do you have any sense of that going through or not going through?
Well, we have a bipartisan delegation, and we're all working together with the county, of course, and the select boards in the region, and standing up for what we think is a good thing for the Cape. And I think because we've all joined together and raised our voices on this, I think it'd be tough for them to make some of these changes, but we'll see. But know that we're certainly leading the charge to make sure that we get as much funding down here as possible, and these changes don't take place.
Right. I know also the town of Mashpee sent in a letter supporting Falmouth's work and your work on the tax refund rather than the tax credit for taking care of our folks who aren't making enough money to benefit from that. So we did that about a month ago, I think, or a little longer. But thank you for all your work. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
No questions?
Thank
They've
you.
all been asked.
Okay, pleasure.
Thank you
Well,
for all
I'll see you
your work.
guys next Monday at a town meeting.
Town meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Busy slate. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, update on the Mashpee Food Pantry. Frank Fantasia. Thank you, Frank, for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me. For the record, I'm Frank Fantasia, 9 Fairway Knob. I'm the director of the Christ the King Food Pantry here on Job's Fishing Road at the Christ the King Church. Just a little background on myself. I discovered Mashpee as a teenager in the late 1950s. I look around this table, I don't think anybody was born then, but it was a long time ago. It was a very different town. I visited friends in Papaneset Beach, and at a very young age, I decided that I wanted to be here. As fate would have it, I purchased land here in 1968, and due to conditions in my career, I was able to move to Mashpee on a full-time basis and have been a full-time resident for 40 years. So I've seen a lot of changes in this town. I remember we had an all-volunteer fire department, and there were 3 people, 3 officers on the police force. I knew them all. But again, thank you. I didn't come to talk about myself. I came to talk about the food pantry, which is near and dear to my heart, and actually developed into a passion for me. The pantry, believe it or not, has been in existence for 30 years. We started in a little closet off of the parish hall, and over the years, as the population increased, our volume increased. Our mission is to eliminate food insecurity in our community. And we do this by combining our own resources that we have at the parish and we partner with other entities in the town, whether they be businesses, other nonprofit organizations, or individuals. And the community, I can assure you, has been very, very supportive over the years. Our business is robust, and it's
Sadly.
growing.
Sadly.
Now, as a businessman, those are words you love to hear at the annual meeting. In this case, I would rather report to you that we don't have enough clients and we're going out of business, because that would be good for the community. Unfortunately, the opposite is true. We continue to grow. And I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis without boring you with numbers. At present, we're serving 125 families a week. Now, the average is 3 persons to a household, so we touch a lot of individuals per week. We distribute 6,000 pounds of food a week. We have approximately 100 volunteers to carry out our mission. There are no paid positions. Every dollar raised for the pantry goes to the pantry. And that's, like I said, everybody volunteers, and they're very committed, dedicated group of individuals. And this is one point I want to make absolutely clear. We are non-denominational. In fact, we never ask questions about race, creed, ethnicity, either of our clients or our volunteers. If you need food and you come to us, you're going to get food. So there's no, we take certain information from you only to meet the guidelines of the United States government, who funds some of our suppliers. So the more information we give them, the more food we can get. Our major supplier is the Greater Boston Food Bank, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. It's quite an enormous organization. They service 116 food pantries in eastern Massachusetts. And the volume that goes through that place up in Boston is absolutely incredible. I've been there on many occasions, and it's mind-boggling how they do it. Just as an aside, because I know there's some politicians in the room, recently the Greater Boston Food Bank's budget has been cut by $2.3 million because of the cutbacks from the federal government. And that's egregious in my opinion. We have not experienced any setbacks from that as far as volume is concerned, but as you know, supply chains take a while to catch up, and we expect to feel the impact of that in June. I hope it's not significant. We also get supplies from our inventory from the local supermarkets, who generously participate, as do local residents and businesses in the community. In addition to the pantry, and this is something that's not very well known, we also, in conjunction with our operation, have a financial assistance ministry. This group assists clients who need help with rent, utility bills, car repairs, medical bills. It's very similar to what we all understand as the old Cape Cod Times Needy Fund. They don't call it that anymore, but we do the same thing that they do, but on a much smaller scale. As a matter of fact, we partnership with them on many occasions. They chip in and we chip in, and we get people over a hump in the road, and they can hopefully move on with their lives. Just as an example, one of the agencies we partnership is Heroes in Transition. They fund us to allow us to serve veterans exclusively with funds they contribute, and we have those funds segregated separately to meet the requirements that you be a veteran and you need this kind of support. That's been a wonderful partnership for us. We are presently in the process of reconfiguring our facility so that we can provide dedicated space for the pantry operation. As some of you know, we presently use the parish hall, and if you come in there, it doesn't look much like an entertainment facility. It looks more like a warehouse now, because we've got inventory all over the place, and we're trying to organize that a little better. The new renovation, which we have plans for, that I hope I can show members of this board in person sometime, it's going to provide us not only with more space, but a loading dock, additional refrigeration capacity, and overall a more efficient setup. We've drawn a building permit from the town 3 weeks ago, and the equipment will be landing, I found out this afternoon, Wednesday, to start excavation for a loading dock and some outside renovations we have to do. The project is being funded by the proceeds of a very successful capital campaign that we've been running over the last year and a half. And the estimated cost is a little bit north of about $1 million. So now you can see that we're really committed to what we're doing here. I mean, that's a lot of money by anybody's estimation. But I'm passionate about this, and I think it's well-deserved. It's serving a community that most people, even elected officials, don't seem to identify with because they're hidden here in Mashpee. You know, I was born and raised near the city of Boston and worked in the city of Boston for many years, and I saw poverty on the street. I volunteered at the Pine Street Inn. I saw poverty live and alive and in person every night of the week, you know, handing out food to people that were living on the street. We don't see that here in Mashpee. It's hidden. We don't see them sleeping in doorways in Mashpee Commons. But I can tell you this from my experience at the pantry. There are people in the summertime living in the woods in Mashpee. There are people coming to the pantry that are living in their cars. I've become expert in a couple of fields that I never knew existed. One was be able to analyze how many pounds of food are on a pallet within 100 pounds. If I could sell that talent, I could probably make a lot of money. I can also tell you as a car drives through who's living in their car and who's not living in their car. And quite a few people come through living in their car. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But another reason for coming here tonight is I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the town of Mashpee, through this board and through the town manager, for the support we've received over the years. Specifically, the Human Services Department, I was a former member of that department, has supported us annually for many, many years, and I thank you. I thank you for that support. The Mashpee Fire Department has been very generous to us for many years. As you know, they run that campaign at the Rotary during the Christmas season. We send our box truck down there, and they load that thing to the top with non-perishable food. They also collect financial donations. They also collect supermarket gift cards, and it's remarkable. Last year, I think, just in financial donations, the fire department gave us about $7,500 but in addition to all the food and they actually help us unload the truck when they bring it back to the church, so that's a good thing. You know, $7,500 in the grand scheme of things might not sound like a lot of money, but I can buy not me, but we can buy 6,000 pounds of food for about $1,000. Now, we all go to the supermarket and shop, right? If you use the pantry, we've calculated that a family of 3 that comes to the pantry weekly can save, we used to say before inflation, $150 to $160 a week. That number is probably closer to $200 a week now. So to a family on the edge, that's significant. That's very significant. It may not seem like it to us in this room, but it is. So I'd like to, also take an opportunity to thank the town of Mashpee and for its support. It's been wonderful dealing with the town, and we really couldn't do it without you. The Recreation Department has also gotten involved with us, and they started with a Fill a Van campaign, and I understand that it's turned into quite a competition among departments in the town. The first year they came with their van full to the roof, all right? Last year they came and they said, I said, the van is full. She said, yeah, but I have to make 2 more trips. We got 3 vans full. So it went from 1 van that started off, we went to 3 vans, and it's been a wonderful endeavor. And I guess, I don't know this, but I guess the people in the town have a lot of fun with that too. Near the end here, I'd like to seriously extend an invitation to all the members of this board to come down on a Wednesday morning and allow me to show you around and show you what we're doing. People know we exist, but I don't think they have a realization of the magnitude of our operation. There's one member of the board who has actually volunteered at the pantry, so he knows what we do. In closing, I'd like to thank this whole board, all the members of the board, for their dedication and service to our town. I know it's not an easy job in this day and age. You devote a lot of time to this, and it shows. It really shows. And Madam Chair, I believe this is your last meeting.
My last meeting here at the town hall, yes.
You have not only been I watch these meetings on MTV because they don't let me go out after dark at my age. So you have run this meeting in as an efficient and effective public service. But it's something that's hit me. You've executed your duties with compassion and with empathy, especially for those appearing before this board. I commend you for setting that example.
Thank you.
We need more of that.
Thank you.
I wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you
And
very
I
much.
also learned tonight as I walked in the door that my old friend Tom O'Hara is going to be your last meeting. And thank you, Tom, for your years of service to the town.
Thank you.
With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You gave us an awful lot of information, and we thank you for it.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions for?
Just want to throw out something. I mean, it's amazing, I can't speak enough about the volunteers. You would think that they show up like clockwork, week after week, and there's also an opportunity to help unload the trucks on Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning.
So if that's, if you can't do Wednesday, doesn't work,
There's always
Tuesday morning, you can help unload the trucks, and it's not like you gotta pick up a bunch of stuff over your shoulder and, just one box at a time. It all helps. It's a chain. Everybody makes a chain and it gets the job done. So, thank you for all your work
Thank
you
you.
do for the community.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, under new business, special event, the fifth annual Race Amity Day, Sunday, June 8th, 2025, from 12 to 4, with no rain date.
Oh, please, no. No rain. No rain, please. I'm replacing Dan Kupferman tonight, and he's serving on the Commission for Human Rights in Barnstable, so he was not able to be here. So, yeah, we're requesting, I think it's two permits. One, to be able to put our signs up, and secondly, to have the event, as always, at the community park on June 8th. And again, as you said, I can't believe it, but it's our 5th year to be doing this. And every year it seems to get better and better. And we do bring people in from beyond Mashpee too, which I think is really important. And we hope that you will attend and that one of you will come and give the proclamation, the Race Amity Day proclamation. We'd appreciate that. And I think that's it, unless you have any questions.
And you're going to have food trucks and anything
hoping,
different?
Actually, I don't want to say too much now, but I think we are hoping to have food provided free. But we're working on a project for that, and that would be really great if we could do that. We're going to be reaching out to the community and food co-op and things like that. So that's kind of in the planning side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first, we will review and approve the annual sign permit application for Race Amity Day.
So move.
Second?
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And we will approve a proclamation declaring Sunday, June 8th, 2025, to be Race Amity Day. And Michaela's going to read the proclamation.
Whereas Massachusetts supports the Great Seal of the United States of America, which bears the inscription E Pluribus Unum, which translates from Latin as out of many, one. And whereas the greatest asset of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is its people. And whereas friendship, collegiality, civility, respect, and kindness are commonly shared ideals of the collective citizenry of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And whereas Towards E Pluribus Unum initiative has invited communities across the United States of America to join in introspection and reflection on the beauty and richness of the diverse peoples of this great nation, while reaching out with a spirit of amity toward one another annually on the second Sunday in June. And whereas H. 2745, Chapter 163 of Acts of 2015 of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts establishes the second Sunday in June annually as Race Amity Day. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mashpee Select Board does hereby proclaim Sunday, June 8th, 2025, to be Race Amity Day in the town of Mashpee.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Thank you, Marie.
And if I may, I'm glad it kind of ended up being me, because I do want to point out that when we started the Mashpee Inclusion and Diversity Committee, it was Carol Sherman who was the one to help us develop it.
Thank you.
Thanks to the recommendation of Mr. Rodney Collins, who wanted to have this committee initiated. Thank you very much. So it's been over 8 years, and I thank you very much for your
You're very welcome.
initial help in developing the committee and your support. And again, thank you for a great job, and I wish you the best.
Thank you. Okay, next one is a special event, Health Fair, Thursday, June 12, 2025, from 5 to 7. There's no rain date, and this event will be held at the Mashpee Community Park. The applicant is Zach, our health agent, but he had talked to us about it before at one time.
We did it last year.
We did it
Madam
last
Chair,
year.
just as a point of clarity, I believe you've approved the proclamation and the sign application. I just want to make sure that we're on record that the board has approved the annual race Amity Day.
Oh, okay, we will. I need a motion.
Motion to approve the Race Amity Day event.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now on the health fair, we had it last year, so. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve special event health fair, Thursday, June 12th, 2025, from 5 to 7 p.m.
At the
Second.
Mashpee
Second.
Community Park. Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Number 3, special event, Breakthrough T1D Ride, Saturday, September 13th, 2025, from 9:30 to 2:30. There is no rain date also. It will contend with Red Brook Road to Great Oak Road, State Park, Town Beach, before returning in opposite direction. Ride is requesting several parking spots at the Town Beach, parking to set up an aid station with 2 10-by-10 tents and portable toilets. Applicant is Chuck Hodge, organizer, department recommendations and requirements, approved by all departments. And you are?
I am Maura McCarthy. Chuck is not here. I am the National Volunteer Lead of the Breakthrough T1D Ride to Cure Diabetes. On behalf of my daughter Lauren, who was diagnosed at 6 years ago, I confess I live on the other side of the bridge in Plymouth, but I shop at Mashpee Commons all the time and dine out here, so it's all good. This is not a new event to the world. This is our 21st year. We've raised about $200 million just through this event, and Breakthrough T1D, formerly JDRF, is the largest non-government funder of diabetes research in the world. It's the reason my daughter's life is so much better now than it was 28 years ago. I am so excited because this is our first ride in New England, and we're going to stay here forever because everyone's going to love it.
Great.
So any questions that you have about anything?
I love your energy. You just, best presenter ever.
That is, yeah.
It's a positive attitude, that's for certain.
The passion.
Well, you know, you
It
ride your
comes
bike
through.
100 miles for your kid, right?
Right, that's right.
This part of the ride, everyone doesn't ride 100 miles. We will probably only have less than 200 riders
Like a
come through
relay?
here. It's not a race, it's a ride.
Ride.
We're about smiles
Nice.
and raising the funds.
Nice.
We'll hopefully raise about $1.5 to $2 million that day, just with those less than 300 riders. They're spread out a lot by now, so it shouldn't impact traffic much. We have about one coach to every 5 to 7 riders looking over them. We have our own medical crew, we hire ambulances, and we'll do anything that the town needs. And we're also going to work with your Chamber of Commerce and stuff to incentivize our riders to go shopping and dining and everything, because they're here for 4 to 5 days.
Great.
Nice.
Any questions? No? I need a motion to approve.
So moved?
Second.
John?
Yes, absolutely.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm a yes, and good luck.
Thank you so much. It's super fun. If you're not busy
Sounds
that
it.
Saturday, just pop in at the rest stop. We're crazy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
You are welcome. Okay, review of recommendations for appointments. Okay, we're going to start with recommendation to appoint to the EDIC Stephanie Viva as a commercial representative based on the collaborative recommendations of the EDIC. And before you, you have the evaluation forms. Good evening, Stephanie.
Good evening. Thanks
Tell
for
us a
having
little
me.
bit about you.
I've been a resident of Mashpee for 25 years. I raised my 5 children here. I'm the new executive director of the Mashpee Chamber of Commerce. I'm also a business owner in town. We also run a nonprofit. So we are very involved in economic development within our town of Mashpee.
Yes, you are.
Questions?
Any questions for Stephanie? It's, the EDIC is working side by side now with the chamber, which is great.
That is great.
Okay, I need a motion to approve Stephanie for the EDIC.
So move.
Oh, second.
Okay, Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, and welcome aboard.
I'm very excited to help.
Good.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next one is election warden, which I don't have in the, oh, Debbie. Good evening, Debbie.
Hi. So, I'm not sure everybody on the board knows, I had a warden get into a terrible car accident last fall. She's convalescing. I'm not sure when or if she'll ever be able to come back. But in the meantime, I need to fill the vacancy. She would still remain as a warden until I hear one way or the other. Or, I'm sorry, the new town clerk hears one way or the other. So, in the meantime, I do need a warden, and Chris Aziz has stepped up to the plate. She's very intelligent. She has volunteered on a number of occasions on Election Day and does a great job and is very professional. I have no problem recommending her appointment.
And you need her right away, too?
I need her for the 10th of May.
Okay. Is she here tonight?
She is not.
Okay. Okay. Any questions for Debbie?
No.
Okay. Do I need a motion?
Motion to recommend Ms. Chris Aziz for the position of warden for the town of Mashpee.
I'll second that motion.
John?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And Board of Registers?
Board of Registrars, Ernest Virgilio has been a member for a number of years now. He is interested in staying on as a registrar. The Republican Town Committee unanimously supported his reappointment last week.
Okay.
So I have no problem working with Ernie one more time.
Okay. You need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
So I guess this is my last meeting.
Along with all of us.
I know, right? I want to thank everybody. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
A lot of years in this building. 28 as the town clerk, 30, almost 39 doing other things. Town manager's office for a few years. Just hung out.
Very good.
So,
That's you.
thank you all. Have a good night.
You too,
you.
Debbie.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
Thank you
For all
for
your
all your
service.
years of service, yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Oh, don't leave now.
Don't you want to
Stay.
stay?
Okay, Cape Cod Municipal Health Group. Christine Young is an alternative member.
Christine Young is our benefits coordinator upstairs, and when she took over for that position, we just need to put her in as the associate member.
It's position-driven, and because of the new employee, we just need the board's approval.
I need a motion.
Motion to approve Christine Young, alternate member of Cape Cod Municipal Health Group.
I'll second that.
John?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Thank you. Review of makeup of the Mashpee Freshwater Ponds Committee with the town manager.
Yes, I believe the initial makeup consisted of a couple less people because there were vacant spots that have not been filled. I believe one is the technical expert, and the other is the Santuit Pond rep. I believe those are currently vacant. So taking those into consideration, if you were to take a look at everybody who has expressed an interest to be on the committee, you would be falling one short, assuming that the vacancies were filled
Okay.
based on what I just defined. If you add one more to the committee, then you can appoint everybody. And then, in addition, you would have an odd number, which most committees are.
Right.
So my suggestion, but the board would have to take a vote on this, is to add one, include your ex officios who are identified, so you would have a total that would enable everybody that wants to serve to be on it. You would still have the two vacancies that I just mentioned that still need to be filled.
Okay, with the members at large and the nonprofit organization, Shumet Pond Community Rep, Mashpee Wakeby Pond Community Rep, Johns Pond Community Representative, Conservation Representative, and Water Quality. It comes to 9 members. Is that what you, but the odd number?
That is correct, but I don't believe you've approved that previously.
Right.
My suggestion is that
To-
you approve that tonight
Okay.
so that
We can go forward
we
with the
can
committee.
go forward with the
Okay.
appointments.
Okay, so
So s-
review of the appointments to the Mashpee, okay, go ahead.
So it's essentially increasing the at-large members to 3.
Right.
Correct.
Perfect.
Correct.
Okay. Motion to approve the formation of the Mashpee Wakeby Freshwater Ponds Committee to include 3 at-large members, otherwise as stated in this application.
Second?
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Now we
You're all set to
approve
the people
the
who...
people. Okay, the town employee reps would be Water Quality Representative Ashley Fisher, Conservation Representative Daniel Kent.
As ex officio.
As ex officio. Volunteers from the public, Johns Pond Community Rep, Amy Dufault. Mashpee Wakeby Pond Community Representative, Susan Daigle. A Shumet Pond Community Representation, Diane Phillips. Nonprofit Environmental Organization Rep is Irene Shutvix. Member at Large, Jonathan Small. Member at Large, Linda Farasi. And Member at Large, Laura Frankel.
So moved.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Madam Chair, may I? I got a nod from somebody out there that I misspoke. I think I'm used to talking about Mashpee Wakeby Pond. This is the Mashpee Freshwater Ponds Committee.
Yes.
So,
Right.
thank you.
And thank you all. You are now a committee.
It's official.
It's official.
Took a while getting there, but we're there.
Okay. Review and execution of release deed, Lot 3, Santuit Lane, Mashpee.
This is part of a land swap that was done. It's taken forever to get to our plate, but the attorneys at KP Law asked us to release the deed at this point. Everything has been done, so it's just a vote of this board to release that deed so they can
Go forward.
go forward with the transfer, but also get it recorded.
Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve release of deed as written.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Thank you. Discussion relative to ground lease between the town of Mashpee and the Boys and Girls Club of Cape Cod.
So, as you know, this was approved at town meeting. As you know, this has been approved by the board. We just need to update the MOU between the Boys and Girls Club and the town. We are almost there. We've been stalled with just a couple terms and conditions relative to insurance through our carrier Meyer, and also with our town attorney, making sure that the Ts are crossed and the Is are dotted. Things were a little different back when the original MOU was signed compared to today. So we're just being very, very careful. Long story short, I'm seeking the board's authorization to sign off on this because we believe it's going to be this week or next week, and they don't want to wait until May 19th, which I believe is your next meeting.
Sure.
Other than the one before town meeting. I know Mr. Kiley's here, Ruth Provost's here from the Boys and Girls Club. We're this close. We just would like your approval for me to be able to sign off on this. I'm not signing off on anything that hasn't been approved by town council and through our insurance carrier.
Okay, so I need a motion to authorize the town manager to execute a new lease agreement.
I'll second the motion.
We have to make, so moved.
John, any
Upon,
questions?
When final
Upon
legal approval,
Upon
Legal
legal
appro-
review.
right.
Yeah.
just as long as that amendment is
Yep.
added
Sure.
to it.
John?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
I don't know if Ruth wanted to say anything. I know she's here.
We've got the insurance covered. We're pretty much, we're there almost, Rodney, so we'll get together later this week and go through it all.
Okay.
And Jim, did you want to say anything?
Thank you very much. No, we're well underway with our fundraising, and the plans are going to be close to be done, so this is a great thing. It's going to be great for the town, great for the area.
Yes, no question. No question.
So I
Good.
got their approval, so we'll get it squared away.
Very good. Okay, next on the agenda is discussion of location of the May 5th, 2025 special and annual town meetings.
Yes, I lost my place there.
It's the
We-
last one.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that the board was all set with the auditorium. I've had a talk with the town clerk. I know the moderator's here. I've had a conversation with staff this morning. We visited the site. We're all set to go. I just wanted to make sure that the board had no objections to it being at the auditorium versus the gym.
I think that'll be a lot more comfortable
For so many people.
for so
Yes.
many people.
So as long as there's no objections, that's where it's going to be.
Do you need a motion?
I don't think so, as long
Okay.
as there's no objections.
I don't think so. Anybody have an objection? No?
Motion to approve. If you want it, take it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Tom?
Yes.
Yes.
Kayla? David?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. It's a good idea. Okay. Public comment. Thank you. Okay, Terry Cook.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to come out tonight and give my sincere thank you to you and to Tom for all of your years of service on this board. You've done a fantastic job, and I know I'm speaking for many in our lovely town that we thank you for your service. But more importantly, since I'm assured I'm not going to need these anymore. Carol, I'd like to present you with your son, and I'm going to retire at my house.
Thank you.
I'm going to present you with your
My
son,
God.
and I have a nice picture of you and the late great John Cahalan.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, hang them together, and again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done.
Oh, that one's nice, Tom. Thank you, Terry.
The same.
Very much.
I remember the way we took it.
Wasn't that long ago. Mike Richardson.
Hi, 47 Slice Way. I just want to thank you all, first of all, because that's something that people should say more often for what you do. And I also want to come in. I've served with Carol and I've served with Tom. I'm not giving you back your signs. I'm keeping them for the future. I have them at my house. So just thank you all, and you guys have done a good job, as Terry said. And I think that you've helped lead the town to where we are today, which is a good place. And I wish you both well in retirement. You can always reach me if you need anything personally. I'll be happy to help you out, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Chair, for the record, I still have one of each of those in my...
Greg McGilvory.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Greg McKelvey, 11 Menimsha Road, Mashpee. You know, service is the cornerstone of most communities. Communities depend on it, and especially when people run for office. It's no daunting task. And we have a committee here tonight, the Select Board, who I believe serves the community well. And you have two members that are getting ready to step aside. And these members have been committed to our community. They have been devoted to our residents, and have tried hard to make policies that affect the well-being and promote the well-being of Mashpee. I just want to say thank you, Carol Sherman. Thank you, Tom O'Hara, for your years of tireless service and your commitment to the town of Mashpee. You will be missed, and we love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And John Cotton. Don't make me cry.
John Cotton, 30 Knopska Road. Madam Chair, Mr. O'Hara, it's been a pleasure serving beside you for many years. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you've done for the town of Mashpee. I'll miss you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Liaison reports. Anybody? Thank you, John. Water quality updates? Town manager updates?
Well, speaking of political signs, I just wanted to clarify something that had come up earlier today, in all seriousness. I know the town clerk enforces the 150-foot rule in terms of any signs for any candidate. We don't want them on the lawn in front of the archives, but just beyond the lawn, if you go to the walkway, there's a railing there, just beyond the railing, all the way to Collins Lane, no relationship. You're all set for your signs. We just don't want them on the lawn at the archives building. So I just wanted to clarify that. And then if anybody is on the sidewalk, that's fine. The only thing that we respectfully request is that if somebody comes down on the sidewalk to get from point A to point B, whether they're walking or in a wheelchair, please give them the space to get by you and then continue with your business. That's all we ask. Thank you.
And that is it for updates? Okay, executive session. General Law, Section 30A, Section 21A, Clause 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chair declares an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiation position on the public body purchase of 9, 17, 25, and 33 Pickrell Cove Road, Mashpee. We're not coming back in, are we? No. We are not coming back in.
Are we supposed to read this as it's written?
Motion. Bye-bye. I move the Select Board enter into executive session in accordance with the Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Clause 6, to discuss the purchase of 917, 25, and 33 Pickerel Cove Road, Mashpee, and grant of a conservation restriction on said property as an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the board's negotiating position. The board will not convene in open session. I need a second. John?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Michaela?
Do you have to read this?
I will. We have to vote first.
I don't think so.
In my opinion, holding discussion, open session, roll call vote.
Need a roll call vote to go into executive.
To go into,
No, I understand. I
Okay.
thought we were supposed to follow the
Yeah,
script for some
we are.
reason, but I'm,
right down here, number
I
5.
know, but I thought you were supposed to read that.
I
Okay,
just-
yes.
Top.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Have a third party clear the room and move to a private room, executive session discussion.